Hi guys, so happy to be back with you again today. I'm here to react to Moon Knight Season 1 Episode 3 and I'm finally catching up with my reactions. As I told you before, last week I was on a trip to London, so of course I wasn't able to, record my reactions and stick out to my schedule. But now I'm finally back. It was a great trip and I'm so excited to see what will happen next with Steven and Mark and Layla and all the other characters. I was really very entertained and very impressed with episode 2, Summon the Suit, because I feel like it answered a lot of questions. I didn't read the comic book, so I didn't know the plot and the story. I finally get to find out a little bit about who is Mark, the fact that he's serving Khonshu, and the other guy, the creepy weirdo, I forget his name, is serving another god, Amit, and basically wants the scarab that Stephen had to get to Amit's tomb, because the scarab works pretty much like a kind of compass, which is very interesting. So I finally was able to gather the fact that Lot is pretty much a fight of the gods, which is very exciting. I want to find more. I want to find more about Mark's life actually, because I feel like we don't know much. We meet Layla, who is really a very impressive girl, and I really like her a lot. We haven't seen much of her. She seems very nice, very smart, very powerful, which I like. I'm curious what her dynamic will be with Steven, because they kind of seem to have a lot in common, but at the same time she's Mark's wife, well, almost ex-wife, but still I'm really interested to see Layla's reaction and relationship with both Steven and Mark. Not in the threesome way, it sounded weird, but I just want to see how she will react to the realization that Steven is also the owner of the body that she knows to be Mark's. Yeah, I have a lot of expectations for the next episode, because the first two episodes kept me very entertained and wanting more. And notably, I really want to see more of Steven's version of the Moon Knight suit. I know he's not as, strong as the Moon Knight of Mark, but I really like that the Moon Knight power basically shifts and changes depending on the person who is controlling it. I mean, come on, Mr. Knight was very classy and cool, and he also had some power. I mean, let's remember, fly like a butterfly, sting like a bee. It was really funny, and I really want to see more of him. I will stop talking for now, because I really feel like I could go on and on about my expectations and about my opinions, but I will let that for the end of this episode, so please look forward to it. And right now, let's just get into the reaction. Yeah, actually, about Cairo, I remember that the last episode ended with Stephen, well, I guess Mark, in Cairo, because you can see from the window, Egypt. So I'm curious if the action will continue literally in Egypt. It would be very interesting to see it, because it seems like such a nice place. I've never been, but I wish to. But it seems very exotic, and I'm sure the scenery would be beautiful. This is literally me when I'm stressed, like no kidding. When I'm stressed at work, I eat huge amounts of candy or chocolate. I prefer chocolate, but still. Too much sugar is not good for your health, but it definitely helps me get in a better mood. So soon, I have to say I didn't expect this. I like that in this series there's a lot of action, and also things seems to be happening pretty fast, at least in my opinion, because in many series, we see the action dragged on and this series just gets right into it with purpose and poise, and I can only be happy about that. I honestly can't wait for Mark to burst his bubble, because I really can't stand this dude. All the other characters in the series I like, or at least I'm interested in, but this dude is so annoying. Okay, those dudes aren't playing. Also, it seems like Mark still has control of the body, which is interesting, because until now we saw more of Steven controlling the body and Mark just appearing slightly. Are we now in a phase where we are going to see more of Mark's behavior and his actions, and Steve will go in the background, or is Steve going to regain the control over his body? Honestly, right now I'm more fond of Steven, because I feel like he's such a nice guy, very cute and kind, but also a little biased because I haven't seen more of Mark, and he could be a cool dude as well. Okay, so Mark seems like he doesn't really need the suit power to be a badass right now. I mean, I did expect him to fight better than Steven, but he is cool. Steven, I missed you. I was wondering when he's going to appear. Okay, so they are doing this mirror thing again, where reflection thing again. I feel like Steven is struggling a lot to try to control his body again. Of course, Steven has a very strong moral compass. We see him in the previous episodes. He's always trying to do the right thing, and I admire him a lot for that. So it feels like now he's trying to be, a moral compass for Mark as well. Opens the door for a lot of possibilities because he could help Mark be a better person or make different choices than the one he would do normally. So all these things basically can have two outcomes. They could try to collaborate and get the best of both of them, or they could fight and struggle with each other, and with their differences and different mentality become a disaster very fast. Because honestly, if they don't collaborate, I don't see how Mark is going to reach his goal, because I'm not sure if without Steven's collaborations he can use all the power of the Moon Knight. Wait, I'm confused. What is happening right now? Because changes are happening so quickly that I don't really understand who is doing what. And also, why does it look like Steven beat or killed or whatever those boys? Because he's really not in his character, and I don't believe he would be able to do this kind of thing. So why is Mark not remembering? Is basically Khonshu controlling them and making, Steven or Mark do these terrible things? I don't understand right now. Okay, so it seems like that's right, and Khonshu is making Steven Mark, well, one of them, being aggressive and doing these terrible things. He's just a kid though, come on. Seriously? For what? I mean, that's a way of calling Khonshu. I mean, I like Steven and Mark seems cool, but this Khonshu that Mark serves is really a D, I really can't like him. Can't like Emmett also, but Khonshu, I don't feel like he's much better. But also, I don't really understand what is happening right now, and why are Steven and Mark fighting about who did what. Okay, this is bad. This has to be really, really bad. Stephen is so adorable even in this crisis situation. He is such an Egyptian mythology and archaeology nerd. And he's so excited to see all of the things he's seeing. I mean, poor baby deserves a little bit of happiness, so I'm excited to see him excited a little. Okay, I have to say, this is impressive. Really sounds like this goddess was basically an next of Khonshu or something like that. This is so funny. I don't want to be mean, but they are literally gods. How they do not know yet what Harrow is doing, as it seems like such a big thing. Obviously, of course, he feels exploited by Conch. I mean, what kind of question is that? This is a serious matter, but a funny thought just crossed through my brain. I would think if Stephen would be the one here, he would just go and ask for autographs from all of the gods' avatars. Sorry, that was cringe, but I had to say it. Oh man, this is hard. This is the actor, I don't want to mess his name because I know he's French. Gaspard, I think it was his name, who died recently. I just got hit with a wave of emotion seeing him. I didn't expect to see any recent works from him, but of course he filmed this before he died. He was a great actor and I'm glad to see him again, although it's painful. May he rest in peace. Yeah, it would definitely be a better idea to just let Steven take control for now because he knows a lot more about this. Violent accusations. I mean, this guy wants to free a god that basically kills innocent people that haven't done nothing wrong yet, and he's talking about violence, please. Okay, so he is actually going there. I was waiting for this. I mean, what took you so long, Mark? Well, Layla is the baddest, but this got extremely violent really quick. I love that cape, it's amazing. That man would be jealous. Really, dude, pulling on his cape, please. Steven, I understand you, but really, this is not the moment. He can't stop right now. He needs to save himself and being able to save Lila. They're going to get killed if he doesn't do anything. I was wondering where this Mr. Knight is going to appear. Steven is right in the middle of a full-on fight, and these guys are not kidding. They are shooting to kill. Well, we know that this Mr. Knight has also some, strength and some superpowers, so I'm curious to see. Because I also suppose Steven will discover more than that, because as much as he doesn't want to fight, he still needs to defend himself at least and help Layla. This was really funny. I mean, it was a serious situation, but really funny. Finally, for the first time ever, basically, Steven collaborates with Mark. We love a girl that can fight. Layla is the best girl. He deserved it. As I said before, I really feel for Mark. You can see that he really loves her. But at the same time, we know from the previous episode that Khonshu is thinking of making her his next avatar. Marc doesn't want that kind of life and suffering for her. So he basically has to drive her away, just to being able to protect her, and having to be apart from the person you love to protect her. It's absolutely terrible. That is so hurtful of him to say, and I feel for her so much because she also loves him a lot, just wants to be with him and accept him. And I do believe she would be able to accept him no matter what. You can see he's so, scarred on the inside that he really doesn't know what path to take right now. Look at just the way they look at each other. Steven definitely has a crush on her, and I don't know about her feelings, but she at least seems to like him quite a bit, so if there will be a struggle here between Marc and Steven. Very interesting amorous triangle, the girl and two men cut inside the same body. Very weird, definitely. I was just about to say when Khonshu started to talk. Khonshu definitely remembers how the sky looked that night. Oh, okay, so he's basically sacrificing himself. Well, not sacrificing himself in that way, but in a way to be able to turn the night sky again. I mean, I'm impressed with Khonshu's determination there. I suppose the next scene with the sky is going to be really impressive. So are we not going to see Khonshu again in the near future? I mean, I can say I will miss him. He's pretty annoying, but at the same time, it would be weird without him for a while. I wonder if without him, Marc and Steven would have a better chance of getting along with each other. This scene with Khonshu and Steven working together is really interesting. Man, what a spectacular scene. I mean, I suppose that it was going to be spectacular, but it is really impressive. I mean, just imagine to have the power to do that. They are imprisoning him. Why do I feel bad for him? I mean, he's such a D and annoying. Why do I still feel, sorry for him? I guess it's basically because he sacrificed himself in a way. I mean, he had no other choice, and it is in his own interest, and I know that, but I still feel a little bit sorry. Also, without Khonshu, is Marc or Steven, are they going to have the Moonlight power? Because without Khonshu, are they going to be left without any power at all and they are going to continue this journey as normal humans? Because that would be very unfortunate. Imagine they would get through all of this and Layla wouldn't be able to find the coordinates. Jesus. So guys, we arrived at the end of the episode. I'm left with lots of questions right now regarding the sealing of Khonshu, what is going to happen to Steven and Marc and to their power. But yeah, I feel like a lot has happened this episode. As I said, I really love this series, that each and every episode carries so much energy and so much action, so many new things that are happening. I mean, you basically don't have any time to take a breath or to get bored. It just goes on and on and on and on, new information, new action, and I love it. It keeps me very, very entertained and very, glued to the screen. As I said, I didn't read the Marvel comic, so I have no idea what is going to happen next. Please leave me in the comments your opinion, what you thought of this episode or my reaction. And if you enjoyed this reaction, please give it a like and consider subscribing to my channel. I will see you guys soon for a reaction to episode 4. Until then, wherever you are in the world, thank you so much for watching. Bye bye, guys.